I'm somewhere.
We got like a lot of people in the comments section harassing us. We're not on time, Sean.
You can throw me under the bus.
This is an earlier start than usual, though.
Well, yeah, we usually start at about 10:30ish, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically Corey's away this week. He's on a R&R, trip, relaxation time, and I always do two shows, one with Sean and one with Corey on Friday, but I thought, well, let's just roll it up into one and get a couple guests on here. Sean really wanted to have Brandon Lovejoy come on. We've actually only met on the roundtable, so I'm excited about that. And also, we're going to have Rhys Kent a little bit later. He's going to jump.
I think it's Rhys. I think it's Rhys.
Okay, fair enough. He's going to jump on the stream later and take us into his little Mario world, and we're going to do a little bit of a cool game thing. So yeah, welcome, Brandon. What's going on? What's up? Who are you? If people don't know.
Oh, good morning. I'm still kind of getting functional here. Still putting the tea in my body. I'm Brandon Lovejoy.
I hear you make excellent tea.
I'm glad the rumors are circulating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got my whole. This is my morning setup right here.
Oh, walk us through this. What's
Dude, that's some serious tea. Yeah, I want the walkthrough too.
What's the process?
I wonder if I can situate my camera in such a way that this will actually work. All right.
An edge to the edge of obscurity first. Oh, I like this.
This is awesome.
Is that like a tea making tray, or is that just a tray?
No, it's a tea tray. It catches the overflow of the water, because sometimes tea making gets messy in the world of Gong Fu tea. So yeah, Gong Fu is just kind of like traditional-ish Chinese style tea. I used to work for a tea company called Verdant Tea when I was not in crypto. Well, actually, I was kind of getting into crypto at the time. And so,
tell what are all these little things called you've got there? I see like a little fetus, a little brown fetus.
I know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of hard to see. This is actually a little dragon character. Yeah, he's like, it's kind of normal in the tea world to have like a little tea pet or a tea animal. This is Pishu. He's the 9th son of the dragon in Chinese mythology. I'm Year of the Dragon, so this was given to me by a friend, and so I got this little buddy. Yeah, it looks kind of like strange at a distance at low resolution, like a little turd sitting there. But yeah, so this is an I Ching clay pot. This is also given to me by a friend, by one of the kind of legendary ceramicists in China. Sorry, it's a little low light here.
Why is it called the I Ching pot? Is that the same I Ching as the fortune teller book, or is it?
It's a slightly different pronunciation and different word. It's like Yi Xing,
okay,
instead of I Ching. But again, like I don't speak fluent Mandarin or any flavor of Chinese, so yeah, I was just boiling the water so I can like pour some tea for you guys. I'm gonna have a better water boiler. Here's a little teapot.
I love everything's so traditional except like this plastic see-through water boiler thing.
Yeah, don't pay any attention to that. That's from another era. And then it's like really quick, short steepings, and then you can serve tea for, I don't know, I like to serve tea for maybe up to 8 people or 7 people.
I assume the tea is like whole leaf tea in there.
Yeah, this is it's whole leaf. The company I used to work for is Verdant Tea, and I pretty much still source all my tea from them. They work with traditional small family farms in different regions of China, and So yeah, this is a pu'er. It's an aged tea. Usually you find it in cakes. Looks like this. Comes in like these bricks or cakes of. I'd open it, but I don't really want to open this one right now. Yeah, and then yeah, poured into a pitcher, and then it's usually divvied up between everyone that's having tea. But right now it's just me, and then Peachy gets a little bit too.
Oh.
Yeah. And Chinese tea ceremony is way unstuffy. It's not like Japanese style where you're all on your knees for an hour not speaking or not more longer than that. And it's more about hospitality and about hanging out.
Yeah, I've been to a couple tea houses in China actually, and you're right. Like it's so much more relaxed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mike, what's the Japanese tea ceremony?
Oh, there's many different Japanese tea ceremonies, but generally speaking, traditionally you'd be in a tea room on tatami mats on your knees, and then the host prepares one cup at a time for each of the guests, one bowl at a time, and everyone else just sits there quietly while that happens. And the way that they prepare the tea is just like it's like watching somebody that's like studied kung fu and calligraphy for their whole lives.
Like Salt Bay?
Meticulously. Who?
Salt Bay?
Salt Bay?
No?
No. Lost me on Salt Bay, but I want to know more now. But yeah, it's very in-depth anyway, the Japanese tea ceremony. So
yeah, it's kind of like Zen gardening in a way, right? Like every stroke or every motion or every movement is like planned and tried to be executed to perfection.
Yeah, there's not a single wasted motion or an unintentional motion. As you see, I'm not cut out for Japanese tea. I'm too.
So, dude, I tried it once, because the same as at a funeral in Japan, when you go, you have to be down on your knees, and like, you should respect people at funerals and stuff like that. But like after about a half an hour, like my knees were locked and I couldn't move and I couldn't get out.
Your legs went numb.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I said to my wife at the time, I said, well, what do I do? Like, can I sit cross-legged, or I gotta leave or something, because this just isn't happening anymore, right? So.
They're pretty used to foreigners tapping out and sitting cross-legged at some point, just being like, oh, I'm not used to sitting like that. But yeah, it's considered respectful to sit like that.
I mean, almost show over, really, like that. Like I was not expecting that, and that's the best surprise I've ever had on either one of these shows. That little tea lesson, that was cool. I really liked it. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, I want to know what is Salt Bay. I have no idea.
You don't know who Salt Bay is? Somehow you've completely removed yourself from modern culture.
I live under a rock.
Exactly. You're so far down the rabbit hole. Salt Bay is the master meat preparer. And he's got long hair, the ponytail, the glasses, and he slices the meat, and then he takes the salt and does that.
Oh,
you've never
seen the guy
that?
I've seen like him slapping the meat like really provocatively, like and like weird gifs that people use.
Probably.
Okay,
Jimmy, do you slap your meat provocatively?
Like it happens.
Jimmy's not even listening. This is what happens.
It's probably for the best.
And he's muted. He doesn't even know he's muted.
Hey, just give me a minute here, because I'm working on something. I want to know. Like I didn't know who it was actually. Here we go.
Oh shit.
Ooh. This guy.
Oh, this guy. Yeah, guys, come on. Salt Bay.
I've never heard of him before. I don't know.
Oh, look at this picture on the right there. It looks like he's about to slap the meat provocatively.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's exactly the guy I was talking about.
You gotta tenderize it.
There's a gif of him slapping the meat. Yeah.
Maybe we can get him on the show.
I would love to have this guy on the show. He's ripped. Look at that. I mean,
every episode, to start the episode, we'll do some sort of preparation, whether it's tea or a piece of sirloin.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I'm sure there's a Salt Bay NFT out there. There's probably 1,000.
Oh my God, that's disgusting. The one with the giant, like, peacock-sized backdrop of like meat behind him. It was just like, wow.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of him before. I actually, here's an interesting fact. My first job actually was as a butcher in abattoir.
In where?
I was a butcher when I was 14 years old.
Did you say in Abazer?
No, abattoir.
Abattoir?
Yeah, it's like that. It's called butcher and abattoir, right? My pronunciation's probably wrong.
Where is this place?
No, it's not a place. It's like a title.
Oh, okay. I was a abattoir.
Abattoir basically means a slaughterhouse.
Oh, wow. So you've been there. You've been in the thick of it, as they say.
Yeah, I was 14, so I didn't go on kill day.
Okay.
Did you ever drink just the raw blood, like right out of the cow's throat?
Do people actually do that?
They do that in Nepal with yak's blood.
Yeah, I mean, that's like for a religious ceremony, right? They don't just do it when they want to get meat, right?
I've never been in Nepal, but I used to work with these two Nepali guys, and they were always trying to get me to come to Nepal and drink yak's blood with them. So I have a feeling it's just a thing.
Wasn't it Genghis Khan as well, who like used to have his men when they were riding across the plains, like poke the necks of their horses and like drink blood so that they wouldn't have to stop?
Yep, exactly. Right. Yeah, that was Mongol horses are freaking famous for that reason. They're just amazing. You could ride them for like through the night before you raid the neighboring kingdom and drink their blood the whole way, and they'll still just keep going.
I mean, if that's not a scary army coming your way, I don't know what is.
Well, that's why the Mongols were so devastating, is because no one moved as fast as they did. So by the time no one could get word. At that time, it was just, oh shit, the Mongols are here. Like we didn't, they rode through the night from like really far away, and now we're all fucked. So.
I mean, we watch movies, we watch TV and stuff, and we see this like, this raid coming on some of these old shows, but like, women, children, screaming, men trying to get pitchforks and save themselves. But like, that must have been just madness if you lived in that world where the Mongols were just here, right? Like, or like Alexander's army just rocks up on your doorstep, and you're just like, yeah, I mean.
Well, and to just bring this back full circle again, a big reason why the Mongols would raid China quite frequently was they wanted their tea. The Mongols and the Chinese traded tea for horses for many centuries, like maybe like 800 years. There was a pretty thriving tea for horse trade going on, but occasionally the Mongols would be like, we don't want to give you our horses. We're just going to ride in and take your tea.
See, Sean, this is what we've been missing all this time. Like we need Brandon to get us back from the edge of obscurity.
I just want to get completely baked and listen to Brandon talk about tea.
How is this coming back from the edge of obscurity? I feel like we're going deeper into obscurity.
Well, I'll pull us out of obscurity for a second. So Brandon, what's going on with you and Adriana Mendez? I've noticed on Twitter some Eden
yeah, she's a critic to say the least, but
tell us what I mean, I told Jimmy this last week. I personally don't think that she fully, like, I didn't understand Eden, even though I was an Eden member, until I had a 4-hour conversation with Brandon. And then I was like, okay, I like it. But I think that's what we need to do. We need to get you two in a room and just get her, make her some tea, prepare some tea so she calms down a little bit, maybe do a little breathing routine, and then you
smudge
take
the whole
her
place
on
with Palo Santo, just like,
yeah.
like,
and then you take her on your little Eden journey, and she'll come out of there feeling like she'll get it. So what do you think she's missing?
oh, you've invited me into perilous waters, my friend.
Well, you ponder that. Like, I think, like, well, you ponder that, but I think she should run as, like, I think the best people to run are the people who hate it. Like, that's what I think.
Well, I think right now she just disagrees with the very concept that there should be any human intervention in blockchain, and we've had this back and forth, and she disagrees on such a fundamental level that I don't know where the common ground is, to be honest with you. DPoS is a very human intervention chain. It's, intent of code is law instead of code is law. And that's where we, part ways in a lot of ways, I think, because we've seen what happens across other blockchains when changes need to occur, and it ends up being like this disastrous mess that creates a huge schism in the community and often a fork. And EOS doesn't necessarily have that problem, because at least we have a 2/3 + 1 block producer vote that allows the block producers to kind of try and enforce intent of code as law after we initially failed to get any sort of coherent governance in place vis-a-vis ECAF and a constitution. So yeah, I think Eden is kind of like the second run now, after a great deal of contemplation on Dan's part, to arrive at a sensible means of reaching consensus that doesn't devolve into a consensus that has a mandate, essentially, that is meaningful and the community can get behind. So it's yet to be proven, but I think it has a strong chance of being a very like a huge game changer in the whole blockchain space.
For me, it's always kind of been what EOS has been missing for the past few years, is some sort of leadership that can determine a direction that the community can then get behind and like advance the network, right? Because everyone's just been sort of sitting on their hands for 3 years, and it's I guess EOS Nation as a BP was kind of like the people that the community looked up to, but it's tough for them because they got their hands tied up in all sorts of different things, and they don't want to upset this group or this group. So they're limited as to what they can do, where Eden sort of stands as its own community body and can make decisions and get things going. So I don't know. I don't understand why she sees this as a bad thing.
But just to add to that, even one more, right? Like it allows the community to be participatory. They weren't before, waiting for Block One or even throwing their votes behind EOS Nation, which I agree, like they did a good job, they've done many good things, but there was never a case where they were participatory, right? There was never a case where they were able to actually go in and have their voices heard. ironically enough. And Eden kind of provides that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Eden, I mean, if the community gets behind Eden, Eden can put pressure on various BPs to step their game up. They can create standards. What are you smirking at, Jimmy D?
The comment.
Just the comment on the screen. I mean, like, you probably wouldn't be in such a bad state if that was like all of Block One's marketing. That should have been Block One's marketing from day on. Hey, we got the Mighty Ducks guy.
Well, I hate to like break it to Morton Matt D, but Brock Pierce, the Mighty Ducks guy, is actually one of the founding Eden members. So he's still on board. Love him or hate him, and you know, he's really involved in the crypto space in a lot of different dimensions. So we kind of need all hands on deck, and the you know, we're trying to achieve consensus here, and there's a lot of stakeholders that we need to bring under the same tent. Eden is already well on its way. If you look at the members list of Eden, you could pop the link in the chat. It's pretty impressive.
He's quiet, but he's not gone for sure.
Yeah, he's just kind of like not trying to dominate the. I actually really appreciate how laid back Brock has been with Eden so far, not being like super out in front on it, like letting the community find its own rhythm and identity. And
how many members are we up to?
I like how you said we, because you're in there too. Let's see, Eden.
I think my Eden NFT sold for 1 EOS.
Oh, really? 1? I would have bid it up higher.
It might be a little higher. I never checked.
Oh, did you put yours up for sale personally, or are you just talking about the one?
Just the one. I love. You know, that was the biggest surprise to me. The process, even though you had to kind of like remind people to go and verify you, whatever. I thought that was really cool. How you uploaded your different your video and your picture, and then it made an NFT out of it, and all that was really cool. I enjoyed that. But
totally.
Is the biggest bottleneck dealing with all the different time zones and like because aren't there? I mean, isn't there going to be a Spanish election? All these, I don't know. It just seems hard to coordinate.
What's 16 times 4? Real quick. 40, 5, 24, 64. 64 plus 68, 69. We're up to 69 members today.
Yeah, perfect. I thought I heard.
Who's the 69th member? Who's the 69th member?
Rahman.
Oh yeah.
English.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been on a couple calls with him. He seems 69.
Rahman is tight, dude. He's really impressive guy. One of the smartest people in EOS, I think.
I just gonna change the topic, but then we'll come back. I just want to say, like, I don't like plus symbols.
You don't like plus symbols.
Okay, carry on.
Well, you got to remove them.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Glad we got that out of the way.
Drop that link, Jimmy. There it is.
I just did. Like,
okay, that was your setup. That was your setup. Oh, I like it. I mean, I caught on to that. We give away, Brandon. We give away Finney coins.
Sure.
Yeah. That's how we get people to watch us. Is we have to give away these them. $190 wax Finney coins, just a slow drip throughout the show. If not, it'd be Jimmy and I just talking to each other.
I mean, sometimes it works. Usually it works. It just depends on how long.
I have some dark pinup NFTs I could give away.
Oh, drop them in the private chat. Ooh, you have any? Hold on, you have any nudes?
Well, I think there are no nudes in the dark pinup, which is really funny actually, because I heard from Lars that there was some sort of pushback from like I don't know who it was, like it was Atomic Hub or somewhere, like there was some people being like, this is too risque, we don't want to.
Yeah, I don't think
And I was
it's
like,
I don't think it's Atomic Hub, because I've seen them like state that they're that you can publish or mint not safe for work NFTs with them, but that you can't like put hardcore porn on there yet.
right.
Yet.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who it was.
Pinup NFTs. They're called dark pinup.
Yeah.
Atomic Pornhub. That's next. Yeah. That's where the money's at.
Or just get a subdomain, or call it porn.atomichub.
Perfect.
I have seen these before. Yeah, these are pretty.
Yeah, they just released. Well, so Lars Komenizespad, if I don't butcher that name too much. I sold a bunch of.
Ooh.
I sold a bunch of stuff. This is amazing. Where'd all this wax come from? Holy shit!
You sell your Finney coins yet?
I did. Yeah, those are like hotcakes.
You gotta bust his balls. You're busting Bonds' balls all the time. You gotta bust his now.
Whose?
Me?
Brandon. No, I'm not gonna bust. I'm not gonna bust
for
Brandon's balls.
For selling Finney coins.
Only bonds. Only bonds.
Oh yeah. Dark Pinup was Facings product, and Facings is a spin-off NFT company that was kind of launched by the crew at EOS Detroit as a standalone company to do pretty awesome NFT launch.
Well, they're launching our first pack drop.
I noticed that.
Finney pack drop.
I noticed that. Yep. So look forward to that too. Finney's coming home.
Yeah, Dark Pinup's the hottest, the spiciest thing on Atomic Hub right now.
I mean, I just like that it's the first, that I know of, it's the first like fine art kind of NFT collection where it's like, a relatively well-established, awesome photographer releasing a whole series,
Okay, I thought there should have been some cards in the pack of a picture of Lars taking a picture of the ladies.
That'd be nice. Yeah,
I would have liked to have seen that, like Lars in like a pose, with his camera. He's got the zoom,
shot.
whatever. Yeah, an action shot of Lars taking a picture of a half-naked lady.
I don't think he uses zoom lenses, but I'll pass that on to him, that request, Yeah, sorry. Anyway, that was a bit of a rant on other stuff.
Are we? Oh, go ahead,
sorry,
Jimmy. No, you go ahead. Okay. Go, Jimmy.
No, I'm pulling it.
I'll go. Brandon, you go. Now, are we gonna play Super Mario Uplift?
I think so. I'm just
No. He's in the chat. Is he ready for us? Is he setting something up? We don't have to do it right now, obviously, but I just want to know we're doing it, right?
I think we're doing it. I think we have.
Okay, yeah. Brandon, do you have does Eden have a plot in the Uplift?
They don't.
No.
You could do statues of all the, like, I could be a statue, you could be a statue, Dan, Brock, and just be like Stonehenge, but Eden member, founding Eden people.
They totally could.
Can people destroy statues? And could somebody come and vandalize my statue?
No, not unless you wanted them to, but I don't think so.
Yeah, all right. I've never seen these before. They are pretty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Below one of
the. Hello, stranger.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay, is that Lars's office?
It is, yeah.
Yes.
Looks a lot like Lars's office,
And
doesn't it?
Schiff's office. Oh, man.
When Lars isn't at the desk, then
my office never looks like that. The only thing I got on sitting on my desk is Jimmy.
Nomad.
We're gonna have him on. I had no idea that this was a thing. I didn't even know that this existed. This is really cool.
Lars, talk us through this shot. What do you see here?
Yeah.
Dom.
I mean, and they're verified too on Atomic Hub, so they mustn't have an issue, right?
Oh no, I can't remember what it was. It was something about listing. I don't mean to. I'm just talking shit, but there was some sort of like a. I just heard that there was a bit of a kerfuffle, and I thought, and I don't know if it was even with Atomic Hub, but it was just somebody pushing back against like it being too lewd or suggestive or whatever. And I was like, "Are you serious? There's not even any. There's not even any nudity.
Oh my! Was it
just? Yeah, I mean,
there's not even a nipple showing
on children's television on Saturday morning these days, right?
Was it someone from the voice team complaining?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I think I'm talking out of school anyway, so I'm just going to shut up now.
We're going to get to the bottom of this.
Let's change topics.
Yeah, so I want to ask.
Change topics.
Tell us about Blocks Populi.
Tell them. Yeah.
Blocks Populi.
Sorry.
Well, I don't know. That's kind of how I pronounce it. I think that's maybe like because it came the inspiration for that title came from
Populi.
Vox Populi, which is voice of the people. So yeah, it's kind of my attempt to start, focusing on projects that are doing some good for the world in the space. But yeah, like it's a complex thing, I feel like blockchain is we're still so early, we're still ironing out so many kinks that I think you can make the case that a lot of projects are kind of bringing some benefit to the world. But where I'm looking is where does it make meaningful impact on the ground and the lives of people that don't even know about blockchain. And there are very few cases of that so far. So it's kind of like I've had to widen my focus a little bit. Like the last guest I had on was Philip Hamnet of Shintai, and I thought, it's kind of interesting because although Shintai is providing kind of I guess they're essentially ProFi, more of a centralized regulatory compliant framework, which on one hand, a lot of people in crypto might kind of scoff at, but on the other hand, they're opening up capital markets to small, medium-sized enterprises and retail investors in ways that we've never had access to before, or they will be opening. So that's kind of cool, like extending tools to and access to financial services to people that never had access to that before traditionally and ever. So that's kind of a big deal. Yeah, I'd like to focus more on actually, I was thinking lately how NFTs may end up being kind of this weird gateway to making like sorry, I missed wherever your
I always say that NFTs are the gateway drug to crypto adoption.
Oh, sure. They are kind of the gateway drug to crypto adoption. That's a good way to think about it. But I was also thinking the other day, like there are some organizations that I've worked with in the past, like that are 501c3 or otherwise, and oftentimes they're trying to do development projects, maybe like around food security and housing security. I think of Obscurity, which is a Lakota-led project. In South Dakota. Obscurity stands for the Oglala Lakota Cultural and Economic Revitalization Initiative. And it's led by this engineer, a Lakota man named Brian Deans, and he's doing like really incredible work on the reservation, building earth ships and kind of getting like gardens put in the ground and just, you know, so food and housing security. And, you know, you can do fundraisers till you're blue in the face for really incredible projects. And I think people are just worn out on giving to, there's so many crowdfunding things out there. But when you talk about NFTs, it's kind of interesting because it's more of like, it gives people an excuse to give because they're getting something in return that may have value. And then they just feel like they, you know, I think it just kind of completes the circle in an interesting sort of way. Like, I think you could raise money for a charity, if you will, want to call it charity, with NFTs a hell of a lot faster than if you just asked for money. And if you just approached an organization and said, hey, like put together some art and some stories and some music or whatever your organization has to offer, we'll mint it into NFTs and do a release, they'll make a ton more money for whatever it is they're working on than if they just put up a GoFundMe and said, please donate for this very worthy cause. And so I'm kind of looking at NFTs now as maybe like an interesting gateway into sort of more philanthropic stuff, which, you know, I know obviously like Uplift has been focused on.
Yeah, well, and that's a lot of what that's a lot of what Yoshi Drops does as well, right? These music video NFTs to be able to fund, you know, planting of trees and funding carbon. So I think you're right. I think that point that you made, that you get something in return, is huge, right? Like you don't often get that in any of these other organizations, right? You don't even get a plaque on your wall unless you donate like millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like, even if what you get in return is only worth 17 cents, you know, and it's just a, you know, not even your favorite NFT, at least it's something, and it kind of indicates that you're a contributor, and yeah, it allows you to feel like part of a community, which is kind of cool.
No, I feel like NFTs are definitely community builders. We've built pretty much our whole community on NFTs. They're also such a awesome little like reward mechanism. And I see them too for like marketing purposes, promotional purposes. Even though, you know, they're easy to create, you can create a lot of them. Like you said, it's just something, right? Something's better than nothing. Then you have mint numbers. So it kind of puts, you know, it creates this sort of market form, and you can basically use them to, you know, reward behavior, reward engagement, and people just like flock to them. And it's funny because you go on Twitter, and, you know, I didn't get crypto, and like I didn't understand crypto or get it until I got it, right? And then with NFTs, I didn't get it at the beginning, but then you talk to people and then you start screwing around with it, and then you get it. But I'm starting to realize now that NFTs are like a culture too, right? Like we see it on Atomic Hub and on Wax. It's become a cultural thing. One of the very first episodes we had of this show, I think I said that, you know, if we're going to be discussing NFTs, I need to be hitting my vape pen and, you know, drinking bourbon at 10 in the morning and slanging.
Now you're totally sober.
And slanging claim links. Yeah. It's fun too, because as when you're in the NFT game and you're giving out something that other people value, it's like Christmas every day. You know, it's that feeling. It feels good to give, right? So like, I think I've given away so many Finney coins. I'm like the Finney coin sugar daddy, and everyone just kind of flocks to me, and I'll just leave a little something here and there. But well, I've become addicted. Yeah.
Another thing I like about the NFT idea, right? The kind of takes something in the real world a little bit further is like the memberships, right? Like, so Cryptowriter has a membership now, you know, there's different tiers and things like that. Yep. And if you think about this as like a golf course membership or a country club membership, right? It's like a lifetime membership that you can pass on to your kids, right? Like, you know, and so I think these applications, once crypto becomes easier, are gonna like really be where kind of crypto takes off, right? Like these types of things where, you know, you can have these memberships that, you know, you don't have to go in and sign a, like, you know, fill out a form and put your name and your address on it. It's just, okay, this is in your wallet and this is what you get, right? Like it's an entry point, right?
One other thing, what's interesting is that the way NFTs are valued oftentimes is, you know, a lot of times it's tied to the artwork and what the NFT looks like. But a lot of the time it's just tied to how your community values what you're doing, or how a community values what you're doing. You could have the worst looking NFT, right? That can be worth $100 because, you know, the project's community values what they're doing. And I think that's pretty cool. It's really, like you said, Brandon, a community builder. Fucking awesome. I love slanging NFTs. I could slang NFTs all day.
Well, you're a storyteller, and it's so interesting how, yeah, NFTs are kind of like this artificial device that allows us to complete a story of value, where blockchain is kind of this really abstract, hard to grab onto thing. Suddenly, if you create this artifact and say it's unique and digital, it becomes the weirdest thing ever, and people can't, you know, stop trying to figure out why, you know, like things about it, and then it's attached to a story. Like, I'm in total admiration of what Sean and Kenny have done with the Finney coin, for instance. Like, it's just a story. I don't mean to diminish it, but I mean, it really gets to the power of stories, because essentially they've told a cool story about an android that comes to Earth and, you know, discovers crypto, and then is able to, you know, get into all these different, you know, adventures and stuff along the way. And then, you know, with the Cryptowriter membership card is kind of an interesting component there too, because yeah, holding the card, you're kind of like, you're part of the story. You're going to receive additional, you know, chapters along the way, if you will. And yeah, it's such an interesting interactive environment. And to be honest, like, I was one of the biggest NFT skeptics early on. Like, I saw somebody write somewhere, like, if I can't stick it in my bike tire with a clothespin and get the like click 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 sound, like, what good is it, you know? Because I don't know if that's like a too early of a reference for most people, but that's what we used to do with our playing cards, is you know, use them to make this like fun little kinetic sound maker feature in our bike tires. And I come from that generation, and so for me, I'm like, I can't hold it, I can't you know, I can't throw it across the room, I can't like just hand it to a friend. There's this layer of abstraction that I think is
I think your headphones died, maybe. And you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted. I don't know why you're muted. I can unmute you.
I think because his headphones died.
It says the mic is not connected.
Talk, Brandon.
Hello.
Yeah, you actually sound better now. I think you're on your computer mic.
Oh, weird. Well, fuck it. Yeah, blame the, you know, that's another thing I can blame.
Oh, God.
Blame Block One for.
God, Block One. Headphones dying. They probably got the refurbs. They were all refurbished headphones that they got at a discount to give away at B1 June.
Yeah, they can they're listening in now and they can like block they're like, he's making too much sense. Cut him off.
He's talking about NFTs. That's not something that we're doing well. Wax is beating us.
I totally.
I agree with you. I think what they did with that story and the crypto Finneys was really cool, right? And
just getting started. It's just getting started.
Yeah, and
it's gonna get crazy.
I was a bit of a skeptic with NFTs too, but I think that you're right. Like once you understand the value proposition of what they could represent, right? I mean, I wonder. I hope somebody's made an NFT that makes a clicky sound like it's in a bike. I'm sure it does
do that.
Right?
Just a bike.
That'd be
back tire spinning with a little click, 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 click.
A video.
But I would also add to like what you said. Go back and listen to it if you haven't, and you didn't get it all because it was quite good. But I would also add about the Cryptowriter part. Like the celebrity NFTs are pretty cool, right? It's like Barbie for 40-year-old digital asset collectors. It's like now you can get Ken Bozak and the stash, right? Like you get
The thing to me, or one thing for me, and this made me happy because for the last 6 years, whatever, try to have a conversation with my wife about crypto because it's all I think about really. And if I wanted to talk to her about Eden, she would listen to me for about 10 seconds and she'd just like, I don't get it. Like, I don't care. I don't get it. But the NFT thing was a breakthrough because I took her to Super Rare. We did our first Behind the Pixel on Yasmin, this artist, on Venezuelan artist who's on Super Rare. And I was showing her the NFTs and they're so trippy and some of them are animated and they're just so cool. And she was actually like, I could see her eyes. Because people can appreciate cool art, right? So then I started teaching her about crypto Finney and the burn mechanics. And I gotta like we'll have a dinner, like a date night every other Friday night or something. And I'll just give her a little something to chew on because if I give her too much, she's overwhelmed and then she gets distracted. But she's start, all you want to do is talk about yourself and crypto, Sean. But she
like, well, I'm really interested.
You don't care about my job. But she started wrapping her head around it. I'm proud of her. And now I can give her a little bit more. Like next Friday, I'll give her, rather than just a quick little 5-minute, I'll give her like 6 minutes, and I'll keep. And then eventually my goal is to pull her into my world. And maybe, I don't think I can get her in like on Uplift or anything. She's gonna, that's crazy to her, but I still want to I want to get her somehow in the metaverse. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but open to ideas.
It's starting to sound like Tron, where you're going to literally pull your wife into the world and then she's going to become an NFT. And then it's going to become this total dystopian movie where
has she, I don't know if Brandon's seen our plot, but we made Lars's office at Shift Tower and his desk is there.
Oh,
and
cool.
Maybe if I pull my wife, maybe though, if I pull my wife into the metaverse, into Uplift, I can bring her up to Lars's office and we could do a photo shoot.
I mean, yeah, that'd be interesting. I'm sure they have bikini avatars somewhere. Let's do some gratitudes while we're here. What are you grateful for today, Sean?
So I was driving to the gym this morning before the show, and DJ Jazzy Jeff and Will Smith, the Fresh Prince came on, and it's summertime. So I am grateful for summertime.
Well, I was getting excited about putting DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Will Smith for summertime.
Summertime. Yeah. For some reason, summertime is when I feel most energized. And maybe it's the extra daylight. I don't know, but it's
There's
crazy.
no maybe about it. It's definitely the sun.
I'm here in the sweltering Miami heat, and we will go all winter without like really doing anything in the yard, any major projects. And then summer rolls around and I'm out there like digging trenches. Why is that?
You wait till it's like really uncomfortable and makes you sweat. You go do all that physical labor.
I don't know what it is, but I just feel way more charged up in the summer.
Yeah, man, what am I grateful for? I feel like I have to just say, who was I listening to yesterday? His name will come to me. He does a lot of talks around currency and value and like how money actually works and stuff. And this is another thing that Charles Eisenstein talks a lot about. But I'm grateful for Mother Earth, because without like none of this would be happening. None of our crazy abstract shit would be happening if there wasn't like actual real value. And the real value is, I've been saying this over and over. You know, the other thing I'll add to that is relationships, Mother Earth and relationships. Because at the end of the day, relationships are the only real currency that we have. I mean, if you think about it, everything comes from the earth, literally. And it's our relationship with those things and with the things that we derive from that create all value. So at the end of the day, like, no matter how much we hoard all these abstract forms of value, like if you don't have good relationships with your neighbors and with your source of food and with you know, the other members of your community, you're kind of hosed. So yeah,
that's beautiful, man. I need to get, I'm
busting his ball.
where we need a summer vacation somewhere, and we're trying to figure out where we want to go. Brandon, I asked you about Boise. I kind of want to go to Boise. I heard people have told me.
I'll tell you my pick. I think if you can get into Canada.
But I don't think you want to go to Canada now with all their Rona nonsense.
I know. If you can, I heard about this today. I didn't even know about it. Like, apparently, it's
so stupid.
I don't know what's going on there anymore.
Yeah,
well, it's an abuse of power.
Well, if you can sneak into Canada past the authority like overreach and like under the radar, and you go to Whistler, and British Columbia, then you're like in the center of awesome outdoor activities, and then there's also like the islands and the coast there, but there's the best hot springs I've ever been in pretty much in my life. And
What's it called? What's it called?
There's the best is Sloquet. It's like Sloquet, and it's like down a really long bumpy logging road, and then you end up, and it's on indigenous land, and there's usually some dude just hanging out there who will take like a very small fee, and it's completely undeveloped, so you just go in, and so beautiful. There's like, it's all natural. There's no one's built anything around it, but it's just like you're in Eden, and then there's a raging cold river, so you can do a nice cold plunge afterwards.
Wow.
And then if that's too wild and off the beaten path for you, there's another hot springs further nearer up the road, which is just like filling a bunch of it's like somebody just took a bunch of old hot tubs and bathtubs and just arranged them in the forest, and they're all just perpetually filling with this naturally hot water. And if that's too far away for you, there's a Swedish spa that you can go to. which is like near Whistler, and it's that you have to pay to get in, but it's well, you have to pay for all of them, but this one is way more expensive.
So I fucking love skiing. Like, it is my favorite thing to do, and that's look, I'm blessed to be able to on occasion afford a ski trip. Got to take the kids this past winter, and it was just watching my kids, and like we got the opportunity to ski together, and that was just so cool to me. But Whistler is like, I've got it circled for the winter. It would be a trip where we didn't take the kids, probably. This summer, though, we've got the kids, and to travel from Miami to Whistler, it's just like a big day for the kids, and we could probably do it. But I think I'd enjoy it maybe when the kids were a little older, because they're only 5 and 7 now and can actually like hike a little bit.
Or pin it for when I go back to Canada. That'd be cool. I mean, the only thing I don't like about like the you're right, there are some really nice like hot springs. The only thing I don't like about the hot springs in Canada is I have to wear pants. I can't just walk in there naked. That's kind of problematic for me, you know.
Rhys,
it's a Japan reference to the onsens, right? Obviously.
Oh yeah,
that might be crazy, right? Like,
the onsens in Japan are amazing as well. I can only go into a few of them because I'm basically like Yakuza, so I have to like watch out, you know, like.
Yeah, they're kind of laxing on all of that a little bit. Here's a weird one too. About around the same time that I got into crypto, the mayor of Osaka actually came out and said that if you were part of the government and you had tattoos, that you had to tell them and you would probably be fired. I was like, this is like
it's a whole different history. Yeah, it's very unkind.
But like my missus has a few tattoos. Like,
Jimmy, what's that tattoo you have on your left ass?
Yeah. The other half is coming soon.
You got to go fly or go transport over to Rhys's 3400 1550.
Well, I think Rhys is going to come and do it because I can't.
He just commented though. He said, "Jimmy, you coming to Mario to play 3400?"
Okay, sure, yeah. But do you want to show off shift? Do you want to show off the?
Show Brandon Lars's office in Shift Tower.
Yeah, where is it?
It's that big tower straight ahead.
Right here. Okay.
Yeah, that big.
Okay, Ryers is in
to the left.
Oh, here.
Yeah, that thing. You don't know what Shift Tower is?
I mean, where do I go in?
Drop all the way down, and there's a door right there on your left.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And I'll let you in a sec there. Huh?
Right through the middle.
There you go.
To the right there, the elevator on the left.
This one.
Yep. Ride it up. Turn around so we can see the little Shift Gold.
It's a really long elevator. You're totally dying if you're. Yeah.
And then there it is. There is Lars's desk. And next week when you come back, there will be a
girl in a bikini sitting on that desk.
Pinup model. There will be a harem of dark pinup models in the office.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. All right, just give me a sec here. Rhys.
There. Yo. Oh.
Oh.
What happened? Oh, here he is. He's back.
He's back. There you go. Hi, Rhys. Welcome to the stream. I'm gonna do this because I'm gonna. I was excited about this all week, to be honest. I'm gonna do this because I don't want to go through the whole, embarrassing.
Flyover.
Getting, my ass handed to me by Sean because I can't even jump thing again.
No, Sean's required background music.
let me set the stage for new listeners and then Brandon. So last week, Rhys bought a plot in Uplift and he went and built it out, or he had someone else build it for him. We don't really know. That's murky. And he built like a Mario level. And then we were on the show and we went to go check it out. And then Jimmy was not able to jump on the first, like the first jump. Jimmy was not able to make, and he tried it 20 times and was blaming his computer. And we had to make little like ladder form or something to get up there. But Jimmy, you have to.
And of course, it was only me and Sean. Like Rhys was in the game, but like, is it Rhys? Is that how we say it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Rhys was in the game, so like he could like he's just standing there and he's just like he's treating me like a little kid. Like he breaks the block so that I can walk up one block at a time. And it's like but you'll be happy to know I have actually researched getting a new computer or two. So hopefully that will change things. But I'm just gonna let you share your screen if that's cool, Rhys, because I'm pretty sure that like you're gonna do a much better job than me anyway. So, Brandon, have you ever been over in the Uplift? Have you checked some stuff out?
Yes, that.
You're muted again. I hope our community plots, by the way, are going out very soon. We're just putting together the finalized list, so we're hoping that these will start appearing in people's wallets, next week, early next week. So that means that like I can't remember the exact number. I think it was 20 something plots, Sean, that the Cryptowriter will have, and you guys will be able to distribute to your community or your writers or however you want.
For me.
So yeah. All right, let's go do it. Let's go see Mario and what's happening. There you go.
Who's here? Oh, harm.
Yeah, so again, this is like such a cool plot. Like I think it's just so well done.
Yeah, nice. Can you guys hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Let's go. So it starts down here. I'm sure Harm's going to come and join in.
So why did you like? Why this? Why did you decide to build this?
Well, what happened was I was originally building an OG crackhead massive statue. And then I didn't like it. I thought it was a bit disproportionate. Then I ended up blowing it all up with TNT. And then I had a idea to build a switch in the background, and it just went from there.
Look at this. Look at this guy go.
So good.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Where's the music? I feel like we should get some Mario music in the background.
No. Once we enter Bowser's castle.
Yeah, that's the way up onto the switch.
Love it.
Show where Jimmy got caught up.
Yeah, right at the start.
Like at the very beginning.
Right.
That was Jimmy right there. Couldn't do it.
I'll reenact it.
That was Jimmy. 20 times. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, this is the last time. Yeah, so
there we go. That's better. Completes it.
Oh, that's so good.
Make play like an actual level. Incorporate lots of different parts. Got some cool little heads on the
Oh, look at that.
Okay, I like it. So who's there? How many? Like everyone who's on the plot, who's in the stream. Let's have this race.
Yeah, and Rhys, can you either turn up your mic a little or like stick the thing closer because you're getting overpowered by Jimmy.
That's what she said.
Yeah, a little bit. Jimmy,
so,
Jimmy, whoa, Jimmy.
Sean, you ready for it?
I'm ready for it. Oh,
shit.
No.
I didn't know this whole other world. Oh my god! Wow. Cool.
Right? It's like seriously one of my favorite, one of the best made plots in the game. Like it's really good. It's a really cool.
I think we're gonna give Rhys a plot right by our
please.
Our little Shift City to make one of these levels and make it the best Minecraft level after. That's awesome.
You just get to do this over and over again. But wait, there's more.
Oh no.
Oh
shit. There's more.
Go back. Yeah. Actually, I'll go the other way. Hey, who's this?
Okay, so
it's me.
Nice. How many people do we have in there? How many people, I wonder, are over there? I'm on my way. What is the lot? Sorry, what are the coordinates again?
3,400, 1,550.
Right. Okay. They're in the link below, but
come on down. Come on down.
1,550.
Oh, am I waiting for you this time?
I mean, I hope that you distribute some of your plots to some of the Cryptowriter podcasters too, right? I think that would be cool as well. You know,
in particular,
Vox Populi, or however you say that. Like that.
It's Brandon's. Can you build in Minecraft, Brandon? Do you play Minecraft?
I mean,
I've never played Minecraft.
Just plant a bunch of tree and build a tea house. That'll be fun.
Yeah, Brandon.
Yeah, build a tree house.
I'm not.
Really,
a tea house and a tree.
You're with a tea house.
A tree house.
What can we do, Brandon? Can you set up a deal with your former tea company? Like, if they find a secret QR code, they can get a little discount, a little baggie of something.
That doesn't sound sketchy at all. Yeah, maybe we could do that.
I should get your address off the air, and I should send you some tea. My father-in-law, he actually they grow their own tea in the country, in Japan. They have like a small business. Yeah. So that'd be kind of cool. I don't like, it's not a big company or a famous company, but it's still like cool because it's homegrown. Yeah.
So Jimmy, I saw.
And actually, sorry, I just want to say one other thing too. Actually, a really good friend of mine. I should connect you with her too. You might want to interview her on your channel. She basically owns, like, I forget the name of the company, but like they're based in Hawaii, and they own like this basically tea company where they go kind of all over the world and bring out these localized teas. So you probably really enjoy what they do as well. And I used to do permaculture with her husband through a volunteer organization in Hawaii, and she actually came to Japan and lived here for maybe 6 months working on like a little tea farm, learning how to grow it and stuff like that. So that might be kind of fun. I'll introduce you to her too. But anyway, sorry, go ahead, Sean.
I'm waiting for you, Jimmy.
On Uplift, I saw you could pay like a bajillion Upliftium to get pictures up on the wall.
Yeah, 100,000 Upliftium.
Like, what's that? What does that even mean? 100,000 Upliftium. Kenny and I are like, we want to put some pictures up, but
Yeah. So actually, you have a community plot. So the community plots in Genesis and Gratitude, they'll get 2 free installs as well.
Okay, but what what is 100,000 upliftium?
So
what does that translate to?
Right. So there are the little NFTs that have the little battery pack on the bottom that mine Upliftium. Now, Upliftium is kind of like the in-game currency. You can't put it on exchange. You can't buy it on exchange. It's there for people who are hodling the NFTs and also for people who are in the game. Sometimes they get dropped. That Upliftium, right?
Is Upliftium paid for foot traffic, or is that just wax?
Well, so actually, the that mechanism isn't always turned on yet. It comes on and off at random times while we're still testing it out and making sure that it works, right?
Okay.
Yeah, there's still a couple of details that we're trying to work out. But yeah, so again, like we said last week, I do believe that you do get some Upliftium for traveling around the world. But I'm not 100% sure if you get it for. I'm not 100% sure if you get it for having a plot, but I know that you get wax for having a plot. I think that's
so the only at the moment the only more definitive way to get Upliftium is to take those NFTs and start staking them, and so you got to purchase or figure out a way to get a bunch. Are these the little Yoshi drop battery NFTs?
So there's a few. There's the Uplift. There's the Alpha Wings, which kind of went out.
Which kind of went out.
No, sorry, I wasn't finished. The Alpha Wings, which went out because there was just a mistake that was made, and we were just like, let's just make Alpha Wings and send them out. And that was kind of like the primer one. And then the Yoshi Drops one also mines Uplift as well. And there should be one coming out from NFT Graffiti Kings as well. They're gonna probably drop one on us soon that we're gonna put that like little charge on the bottom of it.
Well, why are Finney's not stakeable yet?
Well, I was just gonna say that. I mean, I was just gonna say that. Like, if you guys want to do one with a Finney, I think we should totally do that. We should totally put an.
We should do some sort of Upliftium Finney, right?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, this is cool. So here's my last question on the matter.
Maybe he can hold the battery and like plug it in, charge it or something.
Yeah, maybe he could have it in his chest.
Like the Iron Man? Yeah, that's cool.
Here's my final question on the matter. If you're our listeners, or if you were me right now, and you had a piece of land in Upliftium, and you wanted to start mining Upliftium or be prepared to mine Upliftium, what would be the best way? What's the best NFT to be holding?
Well, like I said, right now, in terms of NFTs, there's only the 2 that exist.
And
already.
Do they mine the same amount of Upliftium, or do they mine different amounts of Upliftium?
Yes, those are mining the same amounts.
Okay, so either or.
There might be other NFTs that have other
look at this.
larger amounts in the future, but yeah.
This is cool. Look at this.
That's really cool. I know, it's got fireworks. That's nuts, right?
This is nuts.
It's what was supposed to happen last week when you fall down the hole.
Wait, so
fall down backwards?
Do you fall on the switch or something?
Yeah. I mean, it is summertime. When you fall down the hole, the birds and bees sometimes sing.
When you venture into the back door.
All right, let's do the race. I want to do it.
Okay, I got it. I'll be back in a second.
Okay,
let's the facilities. Wait for me. Get it set up. Get everyone lined up.
Get everyone that's there to the starting point.
Wait, before I go, Rhys,
we've got to go one lap around the ground.
Hey, is there did we put a Finney coin at the end of that?
No, I haven't updated it.
Can I send you one now and you can link it really quick?
You got half an hour for me to change the blocks.
Oh, no, but your QR code you can't attach on the back end. Like you can't change the link on the back end.
Oh, that website's long gone.
Okay. Okay.
We'll do something. We'll make a judgment call, and then we'll collect the
and one other thing.
First one to send a screenshot to Sean gets a trading link.
Yeah. We can give you one of because our QR codes, we can change the link on the Cryptowriter QR codes. We can keep changing the link on the back end. So we can keep refilling it with new NFTs and stuff. So you'll have to rebuild it, but we'll give you one of ours. And that way, whenever we want to put a little reward there, we will.
Yeah, that's awesome. Show me where you set that one up. I had some free online QR and yeah, it's gone.
So while we wait for Sean to come back, I think, it might take him a while. I think he's one of the ones that sits down. Not sure about that. I mean, I just go out to the garden because nothing better than a nitrogen deposit, really. So while we wait for that, who's upcoming? Who do you got coming up on the show, Brendan? Like if you go and check out the Cryptowriter podcast channel and check out some of the past shows, you've had some pretty solid guests, right? Like I think your first one was with Dan Lammer, maybe. You've had some other pretty solid guests. So what do we have to look forward to on your show?
That's a great question. I'm actually kind of trying to confirm a few guests. I'm hoping to interview Tomer Baryach of he was formerly of Bancor, then he started his own thing doing well, let's see here. He's working for Good Dollar. He's so they're doing a UBI, and Tomer is really cool. He's just like, they call him Tomer Money. He's all about local and alternative currencies and stuff like that. So hoping to get him on. Yeah, there are a few other people. I don't really have anybody confirmed. I'm actually trying to get somebody stat like as soon as possible. So we'll see. Sorry, that's like kind of not a great. I'll get some heavy hitters on there for you though. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, well, I know, and I'm not worried about that answer because like I pretty much get a guest for some of our shows like 3 seconds before we go live. So.
Yeah. I want to do it. I want to do part 2 with Philip Hamnet too of Shintai too, because I feel like that first interview, while it was awesome, I felt a little stupefied during the whole thing, and I've been doing my homework, and I'm going to come back armed with some really solid questions next time, because I'm not a financial expert, and that was just it's a lot to think about what they're doing, what they're offering. So I do want to do a second round, but not until I'm ready. Maybe not until they make some announcements too. So
nice.
Do we know where the starting line is? Do we know what the course is?
Reluctantly crouched starting line.
I think the rules are is if you fall off the blocks, what happens? Let's define the rules. So you didn't make that jump, from one of those sections to the other. What do you have to do? Do you have to go back to the beginning and start again?
No, just that section.
That section.
So the easiest place to get back up. We're gonna have to do.
Are we going now? Did we already start?
No, they're practicing.
And they're practicing, right? Like I'm the guy that like can't make that jump, by the way. So that's why
Who wants fireworks? I'm gonna drop them out.
Okay.
Everyone do a trial run together and just like follow the leader through the course, so we know.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, why don't you follow Rhys through the course?
Yeah, I love that sound. All right, so we're going to do one lap around the top level first before you can go down the pipe.
Okay, so I'll put this here. One lap around the top.
Anyone ever stick a Roman candle and launch it from their butt?
I know you have.
You ever get in a Roman candle fight? You know what that is? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was great fun as a child.
Hiding behind a trash can.
Bottle
My mind always
rockets.
goes to dark places with you, Sean. I don't know.
So around the top level.
One lap around the top
Exactly.
level before you go down below.
Yep, zigzag around, and you got to make it all the way to the end. Then you got to do the flag jump, and then you can run back to the start and jump down the first green pipe.
Okay, so got it. No cheating.
No cheating. You can no flying. Only walk. Control is run. So
who's our resident cheater? Do we have any resident cheaters on the map?
No. I see. B-Dub's here. He likes winning. He's not a cheater, but he definitely likes winning.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to give the go signal, Sean? Let's do it.
Are we ready? Is everyone ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Go.
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 Wait, we're probably like 20 seconds ahead of them, but it doesn't matter. Here they come. Oh, who's that? Oh, go back to the start.
Do we need the music again?
Dun 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 dun.
You don't have to go back to the start. You can just come around the lap course. I mean, you're dedicated, but that wasn't in the rules. Alright guys, come around. You don't have to go at the top. This is going to be a long race. Anyone do it?
All right, I say we do it.
Oh, we got
Harm did it.
Sorry?
the Hom did it. The
Harm
Hom
is up.
The Hom is up. Now he's getting nervous. He's getting nervous. This is great. What people do for a Finney coin. Hours.
All right, let's do it. Let's do the race. This
is the race. This is the race, Jimmy.
I thought.
This is the race. No, it's the race.
No, we're not supposed to be going on top of the switch, but they've taken it upon themselves to make that jump.
I see. Okay.
So
every time they fall, they're going back to the beginning.
Yeah, I got a blocks.
They don't have to.
Hey, Brandon, I got a blocks populi for you.
Okay.
There's like 10 people that just hang out in our chat and make a living off Finney coins.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting to.
Seriously though, some people have like sold the membership card and bought a house.
Oh yeah, I mean Ignacio Paredes in Argentina, like he sold his membership card and moved to Patagonia and raised. I mean, it was like enough money to live for like almost a year.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of sad, because I was like, dude, you just sold all your future potential earnings, but I get it.
Yeah.
This is heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably at some point. I was talking to somebody today about going full crypto, right? And if you can go full crypto, then like I live in one of the most expensive cities in the world, right? And so if I'm going to be doing most of the stuff that I do online, then there really is no reason to stay in this expensive city, even though it's a great city.
Where do you live?
I live in Osaka, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I love Osaka.
Yeah, it's a great city. Much better before the Rona came. Yeah.
There's a great tea house in Osaka you have to visit, and it's very I'll find it for you. I made really good friends with the owner. He does really cool stuff.
I love it when people recommend for me to go places in my hometown, like in my town. Like that's awesome. That's it's good when you don't know about it, but somebody else recommends it. Right?
Oh,
cool. Yeah, I'll totally go.
I want to get back there. Yeah, I love Japan. So nice there.
Yeah, well, the next time you come, I'd be happy to show you around.
Yeah, just getting there and then getting all the way to Osaka from the airport and not losing your mind after all the sleep deprivation is usually like half the fun. It's a pretty psychedelic experience. Just trying to navigate the public transit. And Osaka is pretty chill compared to Tokyo. So.
Tokyo does my head in. I really don't like Tokyo at all, if I'm honest about it. Yeah, Osaka's pretty good. Probably my favorite city in Japan is probably Fukuoka, if I'm honest.
Fukuoka, never been.
Yeah, it's like a more chilled Osaka, and they're like a lot more outdoors, and it's like on this, like Osaka's on the bay, but like the bay is pretty dirty. It's pretty industrialized, right? I mean, it's clean compared to a lot of countries, but that's a pretty sweet bat symbol, by the way.
I have a bat cave next to my house. This is awesome.
Have you been to Kinosaki Onsen Town?
Yes. Yeah. It's pretty good. My favorite though is actually in Kyushu. There's another one that is basically the whole town is just onsens. And there's like one hotel and one convenience store, and everything else is just like a guest house onsen.
Awesome. That's Kinosaki Onsen Town also, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Very similar, right? So
Kyushu Onsen. Oh wow, that looks amazing.
Yeah, I think it's what's it called? I can't remember now.
Are they tattoo friendly?
Probably, yeah. I mean, like a lot of them now have like shared baths or I think if like public baths, like. But I like, to be honest, I don't know how big your tattoos are, but if you just put a Band-Aid over it, it's fine usually, right?
I have too many and they're too big. I actually, it's really funny. I have.
He's gonna show us the one on his left butt cheek.
Yeah.
It's like he's standing up.
It's like I bought this in Japan last time I was there to cover up my tattoos.
Right.
And then I ended up never even using. I have a bunch of these, but I never ended up using them because it's too ridiculous. I have like this really big forearm tattoo, which I can't hide, and then I've got one on my shoulder and my side and my leg, and it's just there's no good way to do it.
Right. Yeah, like I think some of them now are a lot more lenient, right? So. Like I said, the missus has like she's got 3 or 4 tattoos, and
What are they of, Jimmy?
Well, she's got a sunflower.
Okay.
She's got a mermaid, a swimming mermaid, and she has like a wave on her foot, just in front of her ankle, which was actually done we actually got that one done in Thailand. And it was pretty good. And then we came home, and like 2 or 3 months later, like you could barely see it. So she had to go to another tattoo parlor in Japan to get them to like ink over it because it was really bad. So, but yeah, they're all small. They're just no color, black and white, shaded.
You have a tattoo, Jimmy?
I do not. I designed one, but I never actually got it.
What'd you design?
So I had this idea of a tattoo, basically with a tree, and half of the picture was a tree. The other half of the picture was like columns from an ancient civilization, and then there were just kind of people hanging out on the tree. But yeah, I never actually got it done.
Interesting.
You want to run round 2, which is going to be down to the QR code, because I don't think anyone completed round 1 properly.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. Wait, we can do one more.
This is for a Finney coin, so like we gotta
Yeah,
have to race to the bottom.
Yeah, so let's do one more time.
After this one, do you want to see a new build I've been working on?
Sure.
You got
Had a
another
little help from a friend.
from Smithy.
From a young Filipino boy I've hired.
Okay.
Yes, the next one is a puzzle plot.
Ooh,
So
a puzzle
it's
plot
designed to make you go insane, and we've gone insane putting it together.
Okay, perfect. So my kids, so what is it, like a maze?
Part roller coaster, part puzzle.
Okay, because I was watching, my kids were watching, because now now that they have Minecraft, like when I had to get Minecraft for this, and then they started seeing it and playing it, then we got it on the Switch and iPad, whatever. They've got it everywhere now. And every morning they wake up and they put on YouTube and they watch like Minecraft people like build stuff. Yeah. And this morning, this real annoying, loud kid, he's like got the mic and he's up in the corner and he's just like running around Minecraft. And he was in a maze and he was like, you just got to follow the left wall the whole time.
Right.
And he got out, and then he took on some boss and that was it. But I was like, okay, if ever I'm in a Minecraft maze, I'm just going to follow that left wall, because I have had it where I was in our plot and I was like looking around. I went down some cave and then I got lost. I didn't know how to put the torches up or anything. So I had to just dig straight up. But it took me like 10 minutes to figure that out. That's how I was going to get out after. And the damn Minecraft, the screen is too dark when it's nighttime, right? Like you can't see anything, right? And I got a big window right here. Couldn't see anything. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, you got to make use of those torches.
Yeah. Now I know.
After watching kids on YouTube.
Yep.
All right. Let's go round 2.
Okay, round 2. This is for a friggin' Finney coin.
The first one for DM Sean, a picture of the QR code gets the Finney coin. And I want everybody to DM Sean so it gets lost.
Yeah. So do you want to have that?
I think they need to. They should DM me too with the picture, but the picture should have like the. They should do a screenshot and have the time, so we know they didn't take this picture like 10 minutes ago, and they're just like, no, it's okay, it's okay. We trust you. We trust you.
So where do you want them to DM that to, Sean?
Just DM it to me on at 2legitcrypto on Telegram.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Like some people might not know, right?
I don't even. Who is this guy? Is he one of us?
You know what? Just drop
the
link in drop the screenshot in the Cryptowriter chat, because I don't even know if I can just accept.
I'm standing there with a fishing rod. Yep. Okay.
All right, here we go. Everyone ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be watching.
Get set. Go. They'll hear me in like 20 seconds. Up.
Go. It's on. BW cheated. You didn't even start the. BW, stop flying. Oh, interesting.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. 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 Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
And BW's
dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. No.
This is the worst. It's the worst soundtrack of all time.
You do it, Jimmy. Your turn. Go.
Dun, 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 dun,
But
dun,
we're in Bowser's castle, bro.
I'm not a gamer. I never made it that far.
It's not all upbeat in Bowser's castle.
No. Oh, this is where I'll let Jimmy up when he was
we had to build that for Jimmy.
I just opened the Cryptowriter chat here in Telegram, and I was met with a really, great juicy picture by Rhys. I like that. Nicely played.
Rhys got banned the other day by Marco. Rhys has this sticker pack, and
I have
it's
this
just
sticker pack.
all female faces, and it's their orgasm faces. It's just the face.
This is a Sean thing. Let's be honest. I came in late to the party and used one and got reported.
It's the best sticker pack. We should NFT it on Atomic and see how they handle it. What do you think, Brandon? Will they be okay with it?
I don't think there was anything wrong with it.
Let's find out.
Okay,
I mean, like maybe we should do like a calendar edition of like some of the crypto writers, right? Like some of your best crypto writers
with an orgasm face.
Yeah. We'll get them to do like risque, like photo.
No. You're on to something. We get all the crypto writers, and it's just their face, and they have to make an orgasm face, and then we make a calendar out of that.
It looks like we have a winner.
Hey, who is it? It's probably one of these gamers. The Hom?
Yep.
The Hom. I think the Hom's been practicing. Has he?
Yeah, he's been playing on this plot for 3 hours.
Oh my god, this is crazy.
Oh, the Hom. Yes, sir. You get a Finney coin. If you send your screenshot to Cryptowriter fast enough. No, we'll make sure the Hom gets it. Brandon, you're a nomad, so at some point you're going to pack it up and just go into the metaverse, and that's going to be it. You find a new home in Rhys's. See, what's great about the metaverse is you can just squat from like build to build, right? You can just go around Uplift each night and just find a new place to lay down, a new, cool, exciting world.
I can just see all the support tickets coming in now. Hey, who's that dude under my bed?
Yeah, who's squatting? Who's making tea on my balcony?
I mean, I might almost give you like permissions everywhere just so you can go make tea for people in the Uplift.
Oh, what if we
awesome.
That would be a fun contest, a fine Lovejoy contest. So, but the thing is, there's a map, right? You can see where people are. That's the problem. If I'm not mistaken, there's like a 2D map and you can see where everyone is, Jimmy, or no?
Yeah. So we just brought it back to 2D maps. So yeah, in all of the worlds except for Nemesis, you can see where everyone is in game.
So in Nemesis, we could hide Brandon. Brandon could just go squat somewhere, and then we could have a contest to see who can find him. It'd be kind of like what about?
It's good, but we're gonna have to figure out a way to keep them alive because like Nemesis is like
okay,
full of little Chucky zombies.
So
oh god,
tell me about this.
Scary.
So in high school, like senior year in high school, we played this Assassin's game, right? Where everyone got into teams and you had to hunt down another team and shoot them with a water gun. So people would be like hiding on your roof. The only rule was they couldn't get you on school property or like at a school sporting event, something like that. But if they caught you out and you got hit with the water gun, you were out. So every team had a team, and then when you eliminated a team, you had the next team in line, and it was just like a big circle type round robin thing. Could you do that in the Uplift somehow? Like,
maybe, I mean, I like it. What was that movie? That movie was what was that movie where they did it like for like 20 years and they just showed up in each other's offices and like Tag. Did you ever see that movie, Tag?
Mm-mm.
Really? It was quite a good movie. Basically, there are a bunch of adults that are playing tag, and it's super serious, and they're like, they're like diving off of buildings and stuff to catch each other. It was a really like bad comedy, but it was pretty good. Yeah.
How could you though prove that you like found someone or like got it? Can you like? Is there like a survival mode in Minecraft where you can kill other players, like in a multiplayer?
Nemesis is PvP. So Nemesis, you could do it because like there's no restrictions. Like you can break any blocks you want, you can build anywhere you want, you can kill other people. You can do whatever you want. So you could totally do it in Nemesis, right? I don't know, like maybe how you would do it. I think how you would probably do it is you would have a special item. And there was only one of them. And then like when you kill somebody, you get that item. So like after a time period, after a certain time period, when that person, came back with that item and there's only one, then they could be the champion. They could be the winner. Like something like that might work, right? I don't know what that item would be.
Just figure it out. We'll sponsor it.
I like it. That's awesome. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I feel like
Jeremy Renner.
I want to hide in the quote unquote real world, and then you find clues to where my actual location is in the game, and then if you put enough clues together and you find me, and I'll actually portee for you in the real world, and then you'll win like 100 Finney coins.
Tell us about here, Brandon. That's a good segue. Tell people about your idea to use NFTs to get people outdoors.
Yeah, I just spaced on the super wildly popular game that I was just reminded of that kind of did this. Pokemon Go, yeah. But no, I was thinking more like geocaching, where we could hide. Yeah, I think Sean and I were talking about doing a thing where you could like burning certain NFTs would give you coordinates, or maybe if you cooperated with other people and all burn the NFTs, you would find the coordinates to some like physical location on Earth, some GPS coordinates, and then if you traveled there, if you were brave enough to go there, you would find some sort of, I don't know if y'all are familiar with geocaching, but like the idea is people hide these little boxes filled with random trinkets and treasures all over the world. And then nerds with GPS skills go out into the woods and try to find them. And it's kind of a global phenomenon. And so there's these things hidden all over the world already. So you could even hide, little QR codes and private keys or whatever you want in the geocaching. We could kind of just like co-opt the geocaching world for our own nefarious crypto purposes, which would be kind of fun.
I love it. Like there was some graffiti art and stuff in Europe, I think, where like you could actually plug like there was like a USB thing there that you could actually plug into. But it reminds me what you're talking about. It's like the new version of those guys who wander around beaches with metal detectors, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah, part of my mission in life is to just get people to get away from the screen, which is kind of funny. I mean, I get a kick out of the virtual worlds and all the things, but at the end of the day, I'd like to incentivize people to get out and be in the world, the wilds of the world. And so if we could use NFTs as a way to do that, that'd be really cool.
I mean, that's what we were talking about this last week, Jimmy, but after I went to that rave you know, having been sort of got a bunch of friends, we barbecue every weekend, whatever. But after being sort of cooped up for a long time and then going to that rave and being around like hundreds of people and like their energy, like I realized that in the metaverse, you don't get that, like you don't feel that like global sort of energy. You just don't. And I don't know if the metaverse ever gets to the point where you do, but like you're saying, going outdoors, you feed off that, you feed off the ground, you know, the trees, all that energy. If you're eating mushrooms, even more so, there's even like more connectivity to people too. In a metaverse, I just don't think you're ever, or we're like a real long ways away until it's so immersive that you can feel that energy, and you might never feel that energy, right?
I mean, what I'd like to see is, you know, Google tried this and kind of failed, right? But they have those Google glasses at one point. It was kind of before their time, right? But like a lot of these sci-fi movies, what you'll actually see is like, you know, people like, when you're looking from the first person perspective, you know, you'll see like a little screen that pops up on their head or something, right? So
augmented reality.
Like imagine if you had that, right? I imagine if you had that augmented reality system in place where like things were in the real world, right? Like maybe the metaverse, maybe the idea of the metaverse is not where we're supposed to end up, right? Like maybe the idea of like I love the idea of Ready Player One, right? But maybe the idea of Ready Player One, where you're like plugged into that metaverse all the time, maybe that's a little bit backwards. Maybe where we'll end up is that the metaverse is actually plugged into the real world, right? And that would be like a really cool, you know, way to flip it and make it, you know. But I know what you mean about Pokemon. Sorry, go ahead. I know what you mean about Pokemon Go, right? Like that was pretty cool and all the rage for quite a while, right?
Yeah, and like a lot of people that weren't, you know, like my sweetie got really into it at the time, and she's super technophobic, kind of. She's just not, screens just put her to sleep, you know. But she found out that with Pokemon Go, she'd end up meeting all these people in like various locations around the city, you know, that were also like trying to collect Pokemon or whatever they do. And she got a huge kick out of it, and like people would end up like walking for miles and miles and miles together just all over the city, you know. And I thought that was so cool, like what an interesting you know, technology. But yeah, it's the AR component is coming for sure, like, and people are going to be definitely in that space. I don't know what that's going to lead to.
I'll say, you know, with Crypto Finney 2.0, we're trying to gamify it and make it way more fun and way more cool. But we have discussed, as we gamify it, the augmented reality. Imagine if we just took 10,000 Finney coins and dropped them all over the world, right? And people had to go out there and find them and collect them. Then they could burn them and get their Finney, or just run around, collect them and sell them. Like, how fucking awesome would that be, right? If instead of chasing these worthless little Pokemon, they were going after Finney coins, right? You might have to go in the hood, right, in a back alley in the hood to go find that Finney coin. You know,
man, like that's a liability. I don't
imagine how much more valuable Finney coins would become if you actually had to like go out and get them, even if it wasn't particularly dangerous. You know, because you would value like your effort so much more that you would just instinctively value the token more. You wouldn't sell it for less than, you know, whatever.
But we could even, because we're moving in this direction where there's going to be different coins of different metals, right? Different rarities. And you could even place some of the more rare coins that were tied to the rare attributes, whatever, rare Finneys. Like, you could put them in harder to reach places, and people would have to go hike up a mountain And now I get your idea of how NFTs can drive people outdoors, especially if those NFTs have, value, perceived value, market value of sorts. Then people are going to be crazy about them, right? If we took the remaining, if we found out where our community lives, and that's sort of all over the world, and took the remaining however many coins we have on both chains, there's maybe like 4,000, and we sort of sporadically placed them in these different areas and let our community drive, what, and like you said, the coin would probably be worth more because there's more effort to get it. It's an accomplishment to get it, and it would drive the prices up, and then people would go drive 4 hours to go try to find a Finney coin on this back trail, right? And they'd explore new places. Fucking love it.
One of the crazy things about Japan was, like, during the bubble, they built all of, like, because they just had so much money that they wanted, like, they made these like weird make work projects where they just built like pathways or like steps to the top of mountains that nobody like ever even went anyway, but they just wanted to like employ people to put them to work. Like, imagine if we could, like, just put them all at the top of those steps, so those steps became useful again. Like, that would be great, right? Like these abandoned shopping centers that were supposed to be like the next big thing in China, that now they're wondering, like, oh, should we sell out the shop fronts, like, for people to live in, right? There's no reason for them to go there, right? Like, you could like do some really weird stuff, but again, like, the liability issues would be crazy, right? Because like in Honolulu, where I used to live, there's this old like kind of like cable car, like train that goes to the top of the mountain. I mean, it's closed, but there's a hole in the fence. You can walk the tracks like all the way up to the top of the mountain, right? Like, where do you end? Like, you're gonna have to have some kind of guidelines. Like, I don't know, like what guidelines does Pokemon Go have, right? They must have something, right? Like I mean, there must be some kind of regulation.
Yeah, right. It just.
I mean, we don't want a 15-year-old like girl, wandering into South Central LA looking for, crackhead Finney. It's probably not the best thing for us to do, right?
Yeah, I know liability ruins all the fun. Because I was thinking, when Sean brought up rave, I thought, we could totally organize a secret rave that you can only get to by like getting certain NFTs and figuring out where the location's going to be at a certain time and day. Then everyone just shows up because, I mean, I grew up in the era where raves were a pretty big thing, and it was always like these glossy 3x5 cards that you would, find. And the last moment you'd find out like the secret, you'd have to call the number and get the secret location, and then you'd end up some sweaty rave somewhere in some like abandoned factory or something.
I mean, it would totally work. We have these video screens, right? Like that people can use. Like that flash mob thing was big for a while, right? Like you could totally just put up the QR code there.
The flash mob, the silent. No one here has been to a silent disco, right?
Oh no,
I have, yeah.
Oh god.
Well, there's
it's so weird.
I don't drink the punch.
Well, we didn't call it a silent disco, but there's like this guy in Minneapolis that started this thing. I think he just called it. His name is almost in my brain, but it was just called "Don't You Feel It Too." And what they would do is they would all just hang out downtown listening to music and dancing on the streets. And then if somebody like stopped and asked like what was going on, you'd be like, "Don't you feel it too?" And then, and it just turned into this like public, it was like silent dance party essentially, because everyone had headphones on and they're dancing to their own music like in public. Wow. But it was really cool.
I remember one time in college, my buddy who's a little artsy, he was like, we were looking for something to do. He's like, let's go to this silent disco. And I was like, huh? I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I was asking him, I'd never heard of it at the time. This was, I don't know, 15 years ago, something, maybe longer. And I'm like, there's a DJ? And he's like, yeah, there's a DJ. And you're all wearing these. They give you, and it was sort of like you were saying with the rave where you just had a card. It was sort of secretive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we pulled up where I'm like, okay, let's just go check it out. And we pulled up, you look through the window and you see the people in the headphones like dancing, and we were like, okay, we're getting out of here. Like we could
yeah, it's not the same
to do it. It just looked too weird. And it looked like a room full of Jimmys doing it.
It's better when it's public performance than like if it's just a bunch of people alone in like a room that no one who isn't a part of it sees. It kind of like loses its, because it's actually not that fun, when you can't feel the music. If it's just maybe if everyone was wearing those like body suits that like vibrate your body, it'd be a little different. But
it's like back to the thing I was saying about the metaverse and not having that. The more kind of virtual you go, the less you feel that energy connection. Like, and we tried it once, like did a Zoom happy hour, and compare a Zoom happy hour to like a real happy hour with your friends, and there's no friggin' comparison. It's awful. Zoom,
I agree.
It's awful.
But it's better than nothing. So like, I'll give you that. But yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if it is. I honestly don't know if it is, Jimmy.
Is it a net negative?
Yeah, it might actually be, because you're just like, especially when you're used to hanging out with those people like in person, and then you try to do some, I don't know. This isn't bad though. This works for some reason. I don't know if it's because we're broad. I don't know. I think
this is a bit different though.
I think one-on-one conversations on Zoom or whatever aren't that bad, but I think with groups of people, it might be a net negative.
Maybe, yeah. I think, yeah, this is okay. But I want to go back to what's on the screen. I don't know if I'm only half listening to you, but I'm mostly listening, to Brandon. But I'm watching Rhys here, and
Rhys.
Sorry, Rhys. I'm in Asia.
Gotta watch out for that ginger rage.
So I'm watching what's going on, and this is pretty cool. Like he was on a roller coaster shooting arrows at bullseyes, and then that was pretty cool. So what is this? Tell us about what this is. Another plot that you built. So what's going on here, Rhys?
I'll run back so I can kind of.
This is another Smithy masterpiece here, Rhys. So.
He's done some cool little things in here, but it's been a cool little joint project. He's done some awesome decoration.
So this guy that helped Rhys build this is our builder, Jimmy.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, we've signed him to a 10-year contract. We've locked him in. He won't be a free agent for 10 years, so anyone else who needs a builder out there.
So yeah, you come down here and you got to make a bow and arrows over this side. So it gives you the pattern up here. This is all of Smithy's work. He's an absolute freak of this game. And then on this side, it teaches you how to build the minecart. So anyway, you get your bow, you get your minecart, come over here, jump in it, hit that button. Got stray arrows flying everywhere, and you come up around the bend of the roller coaster. This bit happens a little bit too quick. You got to get out of the way.
What happens when you hit it? Shoot him in the head with an arrow. What happens when you hit that target?
It just opens the door and it doesn't glitch out as hard. But
okay,
if I can just put my cart here, go in front of him, So then you get in this spot and you have to hit a bullseye here, otherwise you can't go.
Jimmy, when do we get our community plots?
So I just sent the form in. Like basically, we're sending the form in like right now. So they should be starting to go out like early next week.
Okay. Because Rhys and we'll pay Rhys and Smithy some Finney coins to build us a friggin' theme park around Shift City, and
You get them on.
people are gonna be.
Yeah.
Look at this.
This is really good. This is amazing. The Rhys, you might be one of my new favorite builders in the Uplift.
Tom did quite a bit to help me. It wasn't all me.
Actually, Sean, we need to do that too. I think like maybe next week we can do that. We need to have your other builder that did the Fin City on.
Yeah, he said he would come on.
Did he? That's what he said to me.
He told me that he would he needed to like get more comfortable on. Let me see what he said.
You might have to see me on here. I'm not comfortable.
What? You're doing fine, man. No one. I don't think anyone is comfortable hopping on a podcast until they do it like 20 times. I know.
Yeah, I remember like Sean, the first time that we had him on our channel, on our show, he was a little bit nervous. He's like, I've never been on live. I've never done it. And what was it? Like maybe a month and a half later, all of a sudden, Sean and I have a show that we do weekly.
No. So your show wasn't bad, but when I went back and listened to it, I was like every 2 seconds, and I was like, oh, and now I've evolved from the like to the right. Like at the end of everything I say right. So now I'm trying to work that out. The weirdest thing was I went on Ronan the Explorer's show, and they were doing it live from Crypto Voxels from that metaverse.
Right.
And they do all this pre-production. They have like a producer guy who no, but they put you in this like waiting room, and you have like they give you like a 5-minute countdown, and then you're on and you're looking at all these avatars in the metaverse like jumping around, and it was just real weird and awkward. But the thing that got me was when I was talking at one point, all I could see was my face. Like I couldn't see Ronan or the other guy. All I could see is my face, and it was screwing me up big time. But
yeah.
I like talking to yourself in the mirror.
Yeah. I weathered way harder than that, because there are actual like there's a bunch of people watching this. So it's like if you're talking to yourself in the mirror, but with a bunch of people watching you talk to yourself in the mirror, and it was weird. But I weathered the storm. I got through it, and it was a successful show. But definitely trial by fire. I'd say, Rhys, like the hardest part's just getting the courage to come on, and then you just get comfortable after a while, and people make it easy. Jimmy makes it sort of easy. Adam Carswell of The Shift, one of our other podcasts, he makes it like really easy for the guests to get comfortable.
Yeah, Adam's great. I'll give you that. Like he's really professional in that too. Like I really want to share a stream with him sometime too. We've talked about it. We just haven't gotten.
Yeah, you've gotten, even since the first show I was on with you, I've seen your skills get more refined. Like you're not going to get worse at it. You just got to keep doing it. I remember Brandon's first interview with Dan compared to his second interview with Dan was sort of, I wouldn't say night and day, but it definitely got better.
Yeah, it takes a while. It takes a while to just kind of, and then it helps to see yourself for sure, even as awkward and uncomfortable as it is, because it brings awareness to the things that you do that you don't like. And then once you're aware of them, you can start correcting them.
Yeah. I know like Jungle Token, shout out to him. He does some shows for us as well on the Uplifters channel. But I wanted to ask you, Brandon, because I used to do this, before when I had time, but I don't anymore. But I used to watch all of our shows back, and I used to try to like improve when we did like one show a week. But now we do like, I don't know, now I do like 10 shows a week or something. It's stupid. It's just ridiculous, right? So I don't have time to like do those and watch them back. But like I was just curious, like do you watch them back? Because like Sean, I don't know if you watch these all back. Usually you don't, right? Anymore.
No.
Well, when I do an interview and it's just me and a guest, I dislike watching them, but I do it because it's the only way I can figure out what I'm doing that I don't like and change it. And
yeah,
it's uncomfortable, but many years ago when I was a young man, I went to, the first thing I did was go to broadcast, radio and television broadcasting school. And we had to do our shows and then review everything and really be really conscious about it. And I've slid way into like and but territory since then. But yeah, if I'm gonna do podcasts, I don't want to look like a chump any more than I have to. So you almost have to suffer yourself to improve, I guess.
It's funny that you said that because we were talking about this last week as well. I just got a message from Corey. He's coming back, and we're planning our first show on Monday. And you were totally right. Like I've totally cleaned up my language this week, Sean.
You mean not cursing or just?
Yeah, not cursing. It's pretty good.
I have a hard time with not cursing. I don't swear a lot, but I really like the word clusterfuck, and it applies to so many things.
Corey actually does a show with Recurrier of Crypto Monkeys and a few other projects, and they basically call it the clusterfuck, and they just go around and they look at all of the all of the builds and stuff in Uplift. It's pretty fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't even think half the time they get off like that plot because there's just so much going on. So. But yeah, like it's fun. Like I like it. I've listened to your show a few times. I haven't caught them all, but like I really appreciate what you do, Brandon. I like it. You're really good at what you do. So I think that has value, right? When you do listen to it back. Usually when I listen to it back, I'm surprised because I listen to it back thinking that it's going to be horrible, and I'm like, oh, actually, like that joke was not bad. Like.
Yeah, you have some Jimmy, every like round table I've seen you do, you always have at least one dinger, one dinger somewhere in there that gets a laugh out of me.
It's a numbers game, really.
So Jimmy was the guy who when he was younger and looking for a woman, he was more a volume, he'd go for volume. There's people that hit on as many girls as they can, and then eventually you're gonna hit on one of those. Whereas there's other people that are very, very highly selective and just, I'm the same way. But Jimmy's just a volume guy. Jimmy will go and went from girl to girl to girl, right?
I'm surprisingly picky though, actually, which is funny. And I'm actually really social. So like to go back a little bit, it's funny because like this show has kind of saved me in the coronavirus times. Like this show has actually let me be social. And normally, I have a 1.5-year-old too. So I'm kind of, locked up because of that as well. But before that, I was always out. Like I was always out meeting people, doing stuff. Like I was the guy who would sit outside, like, and greet people that I didn't know that would like come into the establishments that I was at. Like that was my space, kind of. And like, so I was really kind of like that. So yeah, like I did in a way, like what you said, but I was, I was very, yeah, I was nice to everybody, but I was very conscious that I knew what I wanted. So in a way, it was a numbers game, but the numbers were only turned on at certain times. So yeah, I like it. But I think, yeah, we'll probably end soon because I'm having fun watching Rhys here, but I'm getting a little bit mesmerized by all of these levers. I don't know what you're
I'm trying to remember the combination to the combination lock. That's what is built here. And
yeah,
if you actually paid attention to what's going on behind here, it's
Jimmy Smithy said that he would he said I'll definitely be on a podcast, just need to buy a good webcam. So Rhys, you're wrong.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure this time works for us. So
we got to get Rhys and Rhys. We'll get you a Finney coin for this cherry popping episode of To the Edge of Obscurity. And
hey,
maybe we'll get Lovejoy one too. We'll get Lovejoy one too, and maybe even Jimmy. Maybe we'll get Jimmy one too.
So Brandon, do you know the name of our show that Sean and I do every Friday?
You mean the Edge of Obscurity?
Yeah. Do you know what it's actually called?
Oh, it has another name besides To the Edge of Obscurity.
Well, there's more to it than that.
Extended name.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it's actually called To the Edge of Obscurity and Back in 45 minutes or less.
Yeah, I saw that part.
how long has this one been?
Jimmy has never done a single thing in his life in 45 minutes or less.
That's true, and that goes back to the conversation that we were just having before as well.
We'll just hide behind non-linearity at that point because, time is a circle.
Yeah.
So, what is?
Are we?
I think I just want. This is what I want to do for our show. I just want to have Brandon record just one snippet of wisdom. I'm like we can read in the tea leaves, right? That was brilliant. We could just play that at the end of every episode. We'll just be, Brandon loves like wisdom of the tea leaves.
And he does a Salt Bay ceremony, but with tea leaves, and he sprinkles them on the ground, and then he snorts them up, and then he
because that's perfect, right? At that point. Time is non-linear, right? And there's no non-linearity between time. You said it much better than I could, and I can't remember it now.
I did it.
Yeah, you did it. Hey, give my hand, guys. When Brandon, when are you going to become a shaman?
I'm not enough of a trickster to be a shaman.
My buddy Dominic, he knew this. He was doing he met this guy out, the shaman somewhere. I don't know if he was really a shaman, more like a spirit guide. But the guy would lead these ayahuasca trips, whatever. And my buddy did a couple of them in New York. They were at this yoga studio, but it was an old church. And they passed the tea around, and it sounded awesome. But I could see you as one of those ayahuasca trip spirit guide people that you just lead people out in you put these Finney coins out in the forest, and people have to go find the Finney coins at a certain time, and you're there.
And I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
Sit down.
And then they pay you the Finney coin, and then you hand them the tea, and then you lead them through the hero's journey.
We'd have to burn the Finney coin. I couldn't accept any money for medicine. But
your idea would totally work at Burning Man. That go out in the real world and get an NFT. I could totally see you sitting, cross-legged on the ground, and people drink tea, get NFT.
I'd be one of 37 wannabe shamans doing that at that moment at Burning Man.
Yeah, but the only one that's actually giving away NFTs. That's it. that's would be the longest line.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we could do the play into that T pun there, NFT. Yeah, I think it's a interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think that world of, shaman is typically like the intermediary between the worlds, and I guess in that sense, that's exactly what I'm trying to do with blockchain, is to try and bend this sort of arc of digital development in a way that reciprocates back with the earth, from which all of this abstract, crazy shit that we're doing now originates and really gains all its resources and power to even be here. So if we can't find some way to make this serve the earth and all the beings on the earth that are, not doing so hot right now, then we're going to be in a bit of trouble later on. It will really be that dystopia where we have to be on the pod in order to enjoy our time. We'll have to be in the virtual world. Like, we should probably preserve the capacity to not be purely virtual in order to not go full dystopia here.
It's funny because I feel like I should know you better, and there's two things I kind of want to say. Like, one of my things that I'm doing with my chicken caw land plot is that I'm ripping out as much of the rail and as much of the structures as possible. I'm restoring it to its natural environment, which is weird because I'm actually an environmentalist. Also, on the Cryptowriter Roundtable podcast last night, we had a really kind of an interesting panel, and some people that couldn't make it because they had really poor internet connection, although they're living in maybe one of the most paradisical places in the world. Dwayne, who's I think down in Costa Rica, but we had a friend of mine and co-organizational mastermind, Chris Tuttle, on the stream, and she's all about the bees, right? Like her real world is dealing with RNA, sequential RNA research with bees. She's and we had a couple other guests. We had Yoshi, from Yoshi Drops, who's using the NFTs to plant trees, and then we had Stefan Rust, who basically has started this kind of environmental crusade through blockchain and trying to make environmentalism cool on the blockchain and doing it that way, right? And so after Stefan mailed me and he's let's set up a group. I wanna play with these ideas. So I'm gonna add you, and I wanna make this a thing. I think that we should be thinking about what you're saying. I think that we should be thinking about how to use NFTs and blockchain and the technology that exists today to be able to put that on the blockchain. And it's funny because we talk about wax, right? And wax is carbon neutral essentially, right? And essentially what we're doing with Generios and the new drop that we're coming up with, and with Yoshi coins as well, is we're trying to make in a way, we're making wax carbon positive, right? Because we're using some of the funds to put trees in the ground, which will actually sink carbon, which is good. But I think that there's so much more that we can do. And I laugh because, you get these people who come into the chats and they're like, really? You or on Twitter, right? Really? You think that wax is carbon neutral? But they use BTC to buy that wax. And it's just okay, I'm not even going to have this conversation with you, number one, because it's a waste of my time. And number two, if you're going to go down that route, then you really don't deserve to be involved in this conversation, really, right? I get it, but I think that what we could do is potentially awesome. So I'd love to hear your ideas on that some other time as well. I think you've probably put a lot more thought into this than a lot of people. So there's my rant for the day.
Cool. Yeah, I'd be happy to jump in on that conversation with those guys. They sound like a great crew of people. I haven't really met Yoshi, but I've seen some of the stuff that they've done. And
I kind of wish this show was on Wednesday night, because if it would have been on Wednesday night, I totally would have invited you to the roundtable, because I didn't know that you were this passionate about this stuff, actually.
Well, cool. Yeah. happy to.
We'll do it again. I really like this.
Hold on, Jimmy. Before you bring Brandon on Eco Impact Blockchain Show, you got to get him and Adriana to talk through it. I'll moderate. Well, it'll be my
Sean is
my
the
hosting
worst moderator ever.
It's not that's not my job. You don't want me for that job.
My hosting debut.
I bow out.
Sean will sell NFT tickets to the event, and I'll
NFT.
Sean, I think if you really want to do it, then what you have to do is you need to sell the NFTs to the event, and then you need to find an environmental cause to support through those NFT sales, and then maybe you can get Brandon to say yes.
Exactly. That you've solved it.
I've got there's so much like, here's where I come from, the old school organizing worldview. Kind of like the Saul Alinsky style, where he's the guy that wrote Rules for Radicals. So before I was all earthy Brandon, I was very much plucky, young, politically active Brandon. And what I found that works the best if you're trying to bring somebody from point A to point B ideologically or conceptually or otherwise, is really find those people that are one step away from where you want them to be already, and focus on that crowd and focus on appealing to those people. Bring them one step further along their journey. Don't try to bring somebody all the way from A to Z. If you've got somebody that's like hostile to an idea, maybe the best thing isn't like a direct approach, but rather work with other people who do see what your work, see the value in what you're doing, and kind of like create that indisputable truth of the thing that you're trying to prove out, and let that be your answer to the critic. Because I just don't find a lot of value. I mean, it's entertaining sometimes to see two people argue, but unless there's some sort of common ground. I'm not saying I don't have any common ground with Adriana. I actually kind of appreciate Adriana, or I have in the past, more than I do now. But I don't know that at this point in time that there's the common, like, I'd like to prove, like with Eden, like, let's just prove it,
I love Adriana. I totally disagree with her on all of this, but I think you have a good point there, right? Like I've been saying for a while, this is what we need to do, right? Like what we need to do is we need to build a model for change, and like you're right, Eden's doing that, right? Like it's in the beginning stages. We're at phase 2 of the community, elections coming up, basically. The way you said earlier, like we have 69 members. So yeah, like build that model for change. And if people come around, they come around. And if they don't come around, then that's okay too, right? They can be right, or they can be, left in the dust. Nobody really knows where it's going, but we all know that Sean's in it for the story. Well, he's a storyteller, right?
So Adriana has become, more of a Twitter personality than an EOS builder. And the more time you spend on Twitter and your following grows and you're getting engagement, you get conditioned to, be someone who makes statements that goes against the grain, because that drives engagement. But like I said, I didn't fully grasp Eden until I sat down with Brandon. We went to the edge of obscurity in like 4 hours and less. And then I came out of it and I viewed it completely different. And I'm like, wow, this really is cool. And I just don't think that Adriana, at least from what I've seen her say on various shows or on Twitter, I don't think she's fully wrapped her head around the potential. And I just want Brandon to do to her what he did to me and put that little mental judo on me, and then I saw the light. It's not really that I want to. I mean, who doesn't like a little entertainment? But
yeah.
Well, the thing is like, is she willing to listen? I guess that's the real question.
That's a tough question. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think she's smart. Like she gets it.
She's super smart.
The fact that she doesn't like human involvement in blockchain governance is kind of, I mean, EOS was kind of built on the idea of that human element, wasn't it, Brandon?
I mean, that was the intent of code. I mean, that's what Ricardian contracts were really all about out of the gate, and not having to fork your entire chain just because there's some irresolvable dispute. You know, it's like, well, figure it out and like create a process where people, you know, that are running the network can reach some sort of like coherent conclusion rather than just like break in half.
I would like to have this conversation on a Cryptowriter podcast, right? with other people, right? Because I think you're bringing up a really good point, right? Like, we have this idea that blockchain should be like a hands-off thing, that like code, like contract.
No,
is code, right?
Who had that idea though?
No. So a lot of people have this idea, right? So that's what I'm saying, Brandon. You're bringing up this point that like, when EOS was created, right? That wasn't the idea. The idea was to be able to meld that emotional level with what exists, right?
EOS, it was, for me at least, when I kind of fell into EOS coming from Bitcoin, Ethereum, it was like refreshing that you had this human element that could like reach consensus and make change. And, you know, if you lost your keys, there was a way to get them back. Like, these all seem like good ideas for adoption. You know, we live in this practical world that you don't want to lose your whole life savings because, you know, you lost a key. You want to, and the whole ECAF, and I just felt it was rushed to get the chain launched and out there. I think it probably needed a whole another year of some Cardano peer review. And it might have worked a little better, but there was pressure, I remember, at the time to get EOS launched and running. And some of these ideas or concepts were a little bit half-baked. And when, as soon as something goes wrong, everyone knee jerks, and there needed to be like, I don't know, more time to test the actual governance. Because the chain itself, the tech work, but that whole governance, like, until you put things out in the wild and everyone knows this who's been in blockchain for a while, you really don't know how it's going to go, right? And there just wasn't enough like beta period of testing the governance on EOS. But I still think the idea was the right idea. And it's good that we've kind of come full circle now. We've sort of tested some of these things, and BPs have had to make decisions, the EOS X hack and all these things. And now we're kind of coming at it from a new perspective, a new, better perspective. But Eden is still an experiment, right?
Oh yeah, completely wildly experimental. And I just want to say, you know, to temper my tone a little bit towards Adriana, I totally sympathize with the mistrust of humans and the mistrust of like well-meaning people that want to create governance systems to try and run something that maybe could run programmatically. Like, there's a desire to remove like the corrupting influence that we've noticed in humans throughout history in our lifetimes from these systems. Like, and I think that is one of the appeals of blockchain, is sort of a codified, you just know what you're going to get out of it. There's not going to be any curveballs. It's reliable. The code is the code. There's an appeal to that for sure. I guess what we've all come to realize, though, is that at some level, there's always going to be a human element somewhere, and we may as well get ahead of it and be proactive about being conscious about how we address the human influence on blockchains, rather than just being like, hey, it's just the code or we split. You know, like that's just like an inelegant solution to what could be, you know, a system of governance. But, you know, as we all know, governance is super easy. And and so I think it was, you know, necessary for Dan to disappear kind of for a couple of years and just like try and like tear through some of these problems. I mean, it's not like any of this has really been solved. I mean, we're like living in a world which is a direct consequence of this problem having not been solved, and essentially living in various forms of aristocracy or oligarchies, you know, that keep reassembling themselves and directing resources for their own benefit, and everyone's kind of like along for the ride, essentially. So, you know, how do we get out of this system? And it's the same on blockchains as it is in the real world. And but yeah, I sympathize with the desire for a non-human sort of corrupted system, if you will. But I don't know that it's possible. I think it's pie in the sky thinking to believe that we're gonna like. I mean, I think it's that thinking that's.
There was a really good sci-fi series where there were these people that came back from the future to change events by like saving certain people or killing certain people. I forget the name of it now. It was on Netflix. I watched it, you know, about a year ago. But it was really well done. And basically, what had happened was there was this, you know, all-knowing, all-seeing, like computer, like AI computer in the future that was basically like looking at all of the potential possibilities and the outcomes of what had happened. And how to like make the future so that like it was better, right? And like that's kind of what you're talking about. Like I don't necessarily see how that's possible. Like that is every sci-fi movie everywhere where like, you know, technology kills mankind, right? Like that.
Exactly.
That's like where we're headed, right? So like, and I before Dan like came out with this Eden idea, you know, I had always said that I like the idea of blockchain as a governance system for the simple factor that like it actually lets people do what they want in a transparent, like accountable way. And my idea for like how a national government would work or how a city government would work was very simple. Basically, we keep our structures in place of electing you know, people into the government, and those people, they get to make proposals, right? Like they get to make proposals on where the money goes, where the money is delegated. But they don't get to pass them. But they make those proposals and they put those proposals on the blockchain, and then the constituents of that region or of that area can go on and they can like delegate where they want to send their funds to, right? And so like I think that's kind of like a happy medium between like voting somebody in and then having them lie about it and like just delegate the money to wherever they want, or like having someone like put that proposal on the blockchain where you can actually delegate your money towards better education or towards better healthcare, towards like, you know, Christmas lights in town square in the center of the city, right? Like we give these people that option. And so I think you're completely right. I think that the power that I see in blockchain and governments doesn't come from like a holistic, like hands-off approach where everything is just governed by code. It comes from like the melding of these two systems, right? It comes from the power of blockchain to keep people accountable, to keep the system transparent, to have that level of trust, but also like tap into the beauty, you know, Sean was saying earlier about like the beauty of nature and the beauty of social systems. I think it comes together with politics as well, like the beauty of people's ideas and how to change it, right?
And that was the last word with Jimmy D.
It was. I want to do one more thing because normally.
Oh God! One more thing.
Come on.
Where we would cut it, but somebody asked for this, and you know, Sean, you're always saying you have to give the people what they want.
Oh, burn it! Burn it!
I think we need to burn a Finney coin here.
Just do it, bro.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
Yeah. Have you ever burned a Finney coin, Brandon?
Let's do it.
No? I did one. I did. Yeah, okay. I burned it. I did one.
How'd it feel? Did you get a pleb Finney?
Yeah, I think I got from Finney. I was like, I just shrugged my shoulders. I was like, huh, okay.
Okay.
That happened.
Let me just
then,
go flip it for $150.
I think it was like a net loss is the problem. I was like, oh, the market's less for this Finney than it was for the
platinum. Yeah, it's interesting.
So I was like, oh well. I think that's how part of the value mechanism though is like, because people are taking a risk to create some Finney that could have value, but it's like a lottery in a sense. So it could also be like less valuable. So and essentially, the people that are ending up with the less valuable Finneys fund the people that both sell Finney coins and the other valuable Finneys.
I'll put this out there for our crypto Finney fans. Finney 1.0 is one shot of dopamine. Okay, you burn a Finney, one shot of dopamine, but Finney 2.0 will be 4 or 8 shots of dopamine, and I'll just leave it at that.
All right, I'm into it.
Gotta elaborate a bit more.
Spike my dopamine.
It's a lot of dopamine. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're getting,
you told me this the other day. That's all you told me, and mostly I'm just stalling because I have to. I realize that my wallet's locked and I have to get my password.
Burn it. Don't, Jimmy, do not share any crypto Finney 2.0 stuff. I told you.
I don't even remember it. That's the beauty of telling me stuff, right? This is why I write. I don't remember anything. I'm the best person to like tell stuff to because I will never remember it.
I told someone. I told one of my favorite streamers what we were doing, and his response was fucking filthy. He said, and you're about to break wax in EOS. And I said, well, anyways, I knew, like Kenny and I know, and the people we've told know that we're onto something here, but it was good to hearing it from someone outside our little circle of yes men like NFT Joe.
Joey.
You're calling NFT Joe a yes man?
No, he's actually not a yes man. Oh, no, he's not a yes man, but I like to think that
you compliment him first.
When you give away as many Finney coins as I do, you tend to create this little circle of yes men. It's not good though. It's not good.
I totally agree. It's not good.
Can you burn a coin, Jimmy, so we can get on our way? What time is it in Australia?
I'm dying out of here. It's nearly 3 a.m.
Oh, sorry, man.
God, just burn the coin, man.
Just burn the coin, and so I can go to bed happy.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's
try again. Just try again.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry. It always weirds me out a little bit, actually. Right?
Do you have enough CPU? Is it?
He's on wax.
I know.
So even though wax is having a little CPU crunch, CPU's getting more expensive. RAM's getting more expensive.
Probably from all the colonized Mars have been burning.
Yeah.
Does Atomic Hub cover the fees for everything, or
they do on EOS? I know they do on EOS. I don't know about wax. Jimmy, what is going on?
I think that should work, right? All right, there we go. But I don't think my screen's showing.
It is.
Well, yeah, but where's the anchor pop-up?
Yeah, you might have to dig underneath this to find anchor behind the scenes, and then maybe.
No, I have anchor, so it's I got that little spinny thing, but I hit the try again button, so I'm not sure if it's gonna.
Yeah.
What version are you?
This is now. You know what it is, Brandon. It's just wax infrastructure.
Yeah, it might be an issue with that.
Every so often you get issues. I don't know. Is Rhys anything going off today on wax that is grinding the network to have issues?
Probably me burning more colonized Mars.
Okay.
Like it's just ridiculously that, like that Chrome, Windows. Okay, transaction submitted.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
But
Just refresh your page and just see.
Yeah, I guess we could
I think I have
again.
I'll burn a Finney coin if I can find one in my EOS account.
Oh, you're gonna burn an EOS one. Those ones I don't touch actually.
The EOS ones. There you see the latest art drop.
Yeah, I did. That was pretty
Pixel.
cool. I really like that, the Finney skull one.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Why are we so valuing the EOS ones over the wax ones? Something I'm missing out on?
Okay, here we go, Sean.
Okay. Oh, we got a gold. He got a gold. Let's see.
What?
Click on it, Jimmy, when it pops up. Bro, I just think your computer's running at a snail's pace.
Yeah, this is a you problem.
Yeah.
This is a you problem.
You're streaming and you have a YouTube thing open, and Lord knows what else.
Is a like business computer not a tax write-off in Japan?
I'm getting a new computer. I'm just like taking my sweet ass time. This goes back to my gratitude actually. About
we just want to see the Finney, Jimmy. We just want to see the Finney.
I don't know what to do here. Like
refresh the page. Refresh the page.
Alt F4.
All right, there we go. So yeah, that goes back to my gratitude for Morton MD, because he always yells at me for having like 100 tabs open. Pretty much
crazy. So clean today. Okay, come on, load up. You can do it.
I know. Do you just want to burn one and then we'll come back to this like later?
Send me the link and then I'll share my screen.
Yeah, put the link in the private chat. Let Rhys share his screen. We'll see. It might take him 10 minutes. Oh,
I just put in your laptop today, but it's not this one.
Did you?
So I'll just send you the asset link.
Pretty excited to get it.
What made you feel like you needed a new laptop?
Oh, the amount of time I've been spending on my laptop now as opposed to a month ago. Thanks to Uplift. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, I mean, thank you, because I definitely, I'll put this in the private chat. I definitely want to have you I want you to meet Corey, because Corey's gonna love what you do, especially with the gamified assets that you're making. Like, we definitely need to have you.
Wait until Rhys and Smithy dream up our whole 20 plot plan around our thing.
All of it is gonna be.
It's just gonna be yeah, exactly. You're gonna have to shoot arrows. You're going to have to blow things up. It's going to be insane.
You have to blow up OG Crackhead. Oh. Yeah, no, Wax is cracked out. I can't even get it.
Okay, so it could be atomic.
Yeah, but it might be like it's not. But anyway,
next week. Tune in next week when Jimmy reveals his gold penny.
Yeah.
You got a gold one though, so that was a good pull.
Yeah, and he's all green, so I can like blend into the forest when I hunt for. I can blend into the forest when I hunt for when I hunt for Brandon Lovejoy.
All right, Jimmy, let's wrap it up and let Rhys go to bed.
It's gonna go. Yeah, Rhys, give us the double. Give us the double chop. There you go.
He gave you a double. I'm never coming back.